7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
All right, and welcome back to another edition of the Vegas Squares Golf Betting Podcast. We've got a full panel this week, but not the traditional panel. We're bringing it back old school for the Masters week here. Got myself, the Tonys, and you may remember him, the man without a face, Bobby Digital there. Bobby Digital's joining us for
back,
Masters.
Folks.
Oh, he's back. Never mind. He's unmasked.
Oh, nice. There he is.
Rest in peace, Tiger Woods' career. Stop fucking driving.
Oh, Bobby's back. Not the hero we deserve, but the hero we need right now. Right there, Bobby Digital.
Good to be back, boys. Thanks for having me on Masters Week, one of my favorite weeks of the year.
So we talk about you all the time on the show, especially when one of us takes Kisner or when one of us wants to make fun of Bryson DeChambeau, because we always link it back to your bold, balls-to-the-wall prediction of Bryson DeChambeau missing the cut.
Obi.
Well, I wish I could tell you that there's Kisner money in play this week, but when you listen to a podcast, they look, I can't win next week, so too bad, but it is what it is.
That's why they pay a lot of money for 20th. That's why he shows up, right?
Goddamn right.
Absolutely.
All right, gents, let's recap the Valero Texas Open, because obviously I think all of us pretty much, we talked about this last week, that we were a vote of low confidence for Jordan Spieth going into last week and this week. Well, I'll shut my mouth. He kind of proved us wrong. I mean, he definitely did everything in his power to kind of give that away to Charlie Hoffman on the 18th hole. But we do have Jordan Spieth in the winner's circle for the first time in almost 4 years. Tony, your thoughts on that? And, we talked about how confident we feel if he won heading into the Masters. I mean, William Hill, he's the co-favorite now.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's we've certainly seen the revival. We've seen him get a lot better, especially as this season has come about. And it just, for me, and I hate to keep harping on the same thing over and over again, but it really is. It's just a numbers game. Last week to me, Spieth was just not playable. At the number that he was at. Now, granted, he won relatively wire to wire, so. I'm not going to outright criticize anybody that had, any action on him, but just at the number he was at, 10 or 11 or whatever it ended up being, it's just not good enough. And now, he's roughly at the same type of number here in a field that's, about 8 to 9 times as good. He's got an incredible record on this course. I think I've bet on him 4 times to win outright at the Masters so far. I believe I've done it 4 times. And I've only got 1 win out of the 4, but it was enough. And he's great. I mean, I think he fits it, really well. But the problem is there's, everyone in the top 50 in the world is here. So to me, this is a tough spot. And it's nice to see him back. He seems to be a pretty decent all-around guy. It's hard to really know until you get to know a guy, but he's certainly good for the game. He's good for the tour. There's no question about that. And I guess if you own some Under Armour stock, you're probably pretty happy too. But it's nice to see him close it out and really take the win last week, because certainly he had to play. He had to finish it out, and to shoot 5 or 6 under to get there on a tough course is impressive.
Yeah, and token, our boy Charlie Hoffman came through in all facets of our bets there. Couldn't quite get the win, but he definitely, token, gave Jordan Spieth a run for his money there in that shot. I don't know if you were watching down the wire on 18 when Spieth and Charlie Hoffman were basically a little bit back of Matt Wallace. They let Matt Wallace go because obviously he was done, not really in contention at the 18th hole. And then Jordan Spieth takes, 10 minutes to hook an 8-iron, and Charlie Hoffman's like, "Fuck this, I'm going for it." I thought he was gonna give him a run for his money on that one.
Yeah, I thought so too. It would have been much more interesting. Maybe even see a playoff in that spot and go down to the wire, but unfortunately that didn't happen, and it's part of golf.
Bobby, what's the narrative on Monday if that Valero Texas Open goes to a playoff, or God forbid Hoffman somehow birdies and Spieth goes off the rails and doubles or triples on that hole? What's the narrative going to Monday? Now we've got co-favorite. What's the narrative going into Monday when everything was so hyped up? That was Jordan's tournament to win the Valero, because that's what every every golf guy was talking about pre-Valero Texas Open and pre-Masters. What's the narrative if he doesn't win that?
That's actually a fantastic question, because the story wouldn't be Charlie Hoffman winning his, I forget how many titles Charlie has, but it would have been Jordan blowing up the week before the Masters, when everybody knows Jordan loves this course. And I think the PGA Tour really needed Jordan to win. I mean, that story has become so far this week. Everything's about Jordan and how hot Jordan is coming into Masters Week on the course that he loves.
Well, that's true. I mean, I think since, what was it, the Waste Management, Tony, we were talking about it, when he shot the 10 under round, he was in contention at Pebble. He's been around, but we said, he hasn't really done it against strong fields, and that's still kind of been proven correct so far. And now we've got him as the co-favorite in the Masters here. But I don't know if it was you or if John said it, Tony, that none of this quote unquote, success or turning it back on since 2017 matters if he doesn't win. And he did.
Yeah, no, he had to get the monkey, off the back, the proverbial sort of saying there. I think you're right to an extent. Certainly getting that win, I think, was important, and it was quite an emotional victory and a big deal. And I think he mentioned that a bit right away. When they interviewed him right after he gets the W, which I was able to catch, and that type of stuff I think is important, especially when you not only have a very important week the next week, but the player is certainly in play next week. I have a really strong habit of either playing on someone or against someone, depending upon the situation, who they are, what it is, because I think you can really tell, you can get a lot of what it is. And it's not always a play against, not all, so there are some guys that when they flow and when they go, it's just, foot down on the gas. Dustin Johnson's a great example. I don't think he's a guy that ever really lets it go or lets it down. When he's on, he certainly goes. Bubba Watson's a good example, people like that. So yeah, Jordan's just it's a different story in the sense that the value is, I know we're going to get into the odds and like that. It's just tremendously bad, here. So in previous years, to give you an idea, when he was a 3-time major winner and playing well, this was 3 years ago, he was 20-1 in this tournament. He was 14 or 15-1 the year before that when he blew, when he blew the lead and got second, that year. So we're seeing him at, lower odds with, I think, a much better overall field than we saw 4 or 5 years ago. I think there's a higher amount of great players currently now than there were 4 or 5 years ago. Very elite players, especially some of these Europeans that are great. And yet we see his odds at a lower spot here. So again, the idea there, my number for Spieth is about 25 to 30. I have it 27 to be exact. So, we're at a really, I think, nice spot and a really good juncture to find a good fade opportunity here, whether that be maybe a no top 10, no top 20, get against him in a matchup if you can find one, something like that.
I was just going to ask you, I was like, what's the play here? Because you're right. Obviously, you can't fade him in futures unless you take everyone, which is obviously not profitable. But finding spots for him, because like you said, we talk about that. Most guys, after the win, we talked about the Joel Damon the week before with the Dominican Republic win. You don't really want to be on him. You don't really want to be around him. We said the same thing with Westwood, and he burned us for 2 weeks. And so it's really hard to kind of figure that out. But winning a Masters is a lot different than just contending at Bay Hill. I mean, even though they're both nice tournaments. But so the question is, even if he doesn't win Augusta Token, is Jordan Spieth back? That's always the proverbial word that everybody wants to use in any sport. Is so and so back?
It seems like he's definitely mentally back, and his game's definitely where probably he wants it to be. Whether he's completely back and going to go on like a massive winning streak, winning 2 to 3 times in a season, making a run at the Tour Championship or something like that, that's a different story. But But I would say overall, especially with his caddy, I'm sure his caddy's definitely got his back, and I like his story with his caddy for sure too. So
Yeah, I just love their conversations on the golf course. Sometimes it's not even with the caddy. He's talking to the caddy, but more so it's just himself in his brain at that point. But yeah, Jordan Spieth definitely in an era where hot mics are so prevalent right now. It seems like he's the one who makes them keep wanting to put the mics on the course. It's fun to watch him go through the shots. Like it's like I said on 18 at the Valero last week. You know, he went from 3-wood to 8-iron. Like, I mean, you know, an amateur golfer, you know, would never make these two comparisons. Well, do I hit 3-wood or do I hit 8-iron? No, I mean that's just crazy. That was crazy to me, my thought. But switching gears, I saved this one especially for you, Bobby. Bryson Ball last year at Augusta didn't really work. But he's been successful, you know, from then to now, and kind of toning it down, kind of picking the right spots, playing smart, but still playing Bryson Ball. You think Bryson Ball might be able to get it done here this year, 2021 Masters?
I mean, it's tough because when Bryson was uber hot when he won his major last year and when he won the 3M, his chipping and putting were even better when he was driving the ball. His chipping and putting were exquisite. He was first on the tour, if I remember correctly, in putting. That's kind of gone by the wayside now. He's not the best putter in the world anymore. And Augusta, you can't make those mistakes. If you make a mistake putting in Augusta, you've got 12, 15 feet coming back. Augusta's a different bird. Now, what's good for him is it's going to rain. It's going to rain Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So, scores are going to be low. I mean, you can dress Augusta up as one of the hardest golf courses in the world, but when Mother Nature gets into play, there's nothing you can do.
That's fair. And I tell you what, Tony, we're 10, 15 minutes into the podcast here, and it seems almost disrespectful. We haven't talked about the defending champ. We go the way of Spieth, we go away to Bryson. There's people talking about Rory and how terribly it's gone for him, but world number one by a long shot here. Dustin Johnson just quietly, maybe it's because he's not the media darling because he chooses not to be, but I mean, how do you feel about this? He's defending, obviously, hasn't gone back-to-back in the Masters since Tiger did it, and he's defending, 5 months later here?
Yeah, it's a short defend, which is tough to read, and it's really tough to handicap because we've really never seen this before, not just for this major, but really any of them, at any time. So I've kind of put that on the back burner just because I'm not really necessarily sure what to expect in that sense. I think the course is just going to play differently. Bobby brought it up. We're going to see very much different weather than we saw from last year's Masters only 5 months ago. So I'm not putting a lot into that. The only thing that I will say in regards to Dustin Johnson is that we have never really seen him get emotional. We've never really seen him kind of, really get personal for the most part. The only time we saw that, the one time I can only remember, was after that win at the Masters last year. That was a huge, huge deal for him. He's won majors before. He's won the Tour Championship before. And that didn't really seem to break the ice. This one did. So how is someone going to respond from that? A guy that we never really mark up as an emotional guy, as somebody that we always see him as steady. Everything just rolls off of him. Well, this was a big deal. This tournament meant quite a bit. We didn't really realize that until it happened. So in spots like that, again, I'm not going to, put everything I have, that's not going to be the only thing we're going to do here, but I don't like to be on guys, that have necessarily had a very big emotional spot then and now, are having to repeat, whether it's in 5 months or 12 months down the year. I'm not really sure whether that matters or not. But I think also maybe just as importantly, he struggled recently the last couple of weeks. I think that also means something. Barely cut the last couple of times out, and really in courses and spots that make a lot of sense for him, areas where you can attack par fives, and he wasn't able to do that. His wedge play was off. His proximity was terrible. Still, he got into somewhere in the top 50s, I think, in both of those, but nothing what we would expect from, as you said, the by far world number one. So, for me, I'm certainly not going to be playing on. If there's a spot, where we can, it would make sense to go against him, maybe. But with the recent struggles I'm saying lightly, for a guy of his caliber, and I think what really was an emotional win for him last year, and with how good this field is, as of course it always is, I just don't think it's a great spot here at all. With the number that he's at.
Yeah, that's fair. And to play devil's advocate, you talk about it all the time, being on a guy who's a defending champ and, all the brouhaha and everything that goes around with being that. I feel like Dustin Johnson's just kind of a different animal when it comes to that. He's on a different level, kind of almost like Tiger Woods. He could be the defending champ. He can have all the distractions because he's going to find a way to really still get dialed in. And I think, as emotional it is for winning one, I'm sure he wouldn't mind having, one or two more before he's done playing. Bobby, we've talked at length about this guy over the last month on the podcast. So I kind of want to get your thoughts on him. And it's Lee Westwood. We talked about him, at Bay Hill. We talked about him at the Honda. We talked about the players and how he's been playing great. And there's a lot of people, after Honda, it seems like it's kind of fallen off a little bit. But there's a lot of people who really think this is the year for. I think Westwood's close to 50 at this point. Like, if not now, never. Like, this is his last kind of swan song. I don't see it. I'm not really high on Westwood this week. I mean, maybe you have a different thought process on this, but it seems he's getting a lot of media love.
Absolutely not. I am not a Lee Westwood guy. First of all, I like Lee Westwood, and the whole story with him and his girlfriend, fiance on the bag is cute and everything, but he's old. And first of all, caddies mean a lot at Augusta National. And he's got the broad on the bag smiling. He goes, God, she doesn't club me. All she does is wipe the ball off and throw it back to me. See, I like a guy like Greller is so important when you get to Augusta National. I like Lee Westwood. I'm not getting one red cent bet on Lee Westwood this year. None.
Yeah, I think I like that kind of that mindset. You're right. I mean, we talked about that at the Players, how maybe the lack of a caddy led to more success because it took another brain out of it. But that might be a different animal at Augusta. You may need a second opinion, for lack of a better word, in that spot, and she's just not going to provide it. No disrespect to her at that point, but let's kind of dive in here. We've got a big jam-packed show, and as we do every week, I know if you're watching this and you're listening, Augusta. But nobody does it better than Tony Johnson in a course outline. So I'm going to kick it over to you. We're going to talk about that. Obviously, every week we've got our featured groups preview and tons of bets. So stick around. Tony's going to give us the course outline, and as he does so eloquently every week. So Augusta National, Tony, a tradition unlike any other.
Oh, God. I'm already sick of hearing that phrase, and it hasn't even – you did that on purpose. That was well done. But so again, like traditionally we do go through the whole course, grass, everything like that. I think 5 months ago I did the same thing. We're not going to do that obviously this week because everyone does certainly know the course. They remember almost all the holes, even a lot of the holes in the front nine. I talked to some players that are, fellow golfers or other sports nuts that, they even know a lot of the holes just on the front nine and they're not the biggest golf fans. So, I just think it's important to note a couple of things, on this course, just in the handicapping realm. Bobby already brought the weather and how that might change things. I think that's always kind of important to note. So, it is a par 72, but what is sometimes forgotten about is how the course is mown and how they sort of designed a lot of these holes. So it plays 7,475 yards, in theory. But basically the way the course is mown and the way the grass kind of you go into the grain basically from green all the way back to the tee, it's going to play about 300, maybe 350 yards longer just because you're not getting rollout from those drives. So it's in theory about 7,700 plus yards. Kevin Kisner, we talk about Kisner money and things like that. It's nice that finally someone is relatively honest because there is a chunk of the field that can't win the tournament. I believe that. I think that they probably believe that, and at least Kisner is real about it. Now, again, if everything fires 100% for a guy like Kevin Kisner, of course he can win. He's a great player. There's no question about it. I think it's a little bit tongue-in-cheek from him, but it is important to note that there are a handful of these players that just simply can't win, whether they're not long enough, whether they're not good enough around the greens, whether they're just so bad on fast greens, and it's just not going to happen. So I think that's an important thing to note. While it's good to take some flyers, and I'm going to have a bunch of flyers this week, it's only guys that I think that have the distance and the capability and the mental fortitude to be able to do it. So that's the first point, I wanted to make. And Also, the second thing is debutantes and even guys in their second and third time around tend not to play well here. That has changed a little bit over the last decade as these players have played so much junior golf and they've been exposed to so many different courses, all this AJGA stuff and things like that. Players are more ready. They're more capable when they're younger. We're seeing it with guys like Colin Morikawa, and Victor Hovland and these dudes like that are just ready to go right away. John Rahm's a great example. But even so, even with all that said, you tend to play a lot better in the 5th, 6th, 7th year and on. And, Bobby made a great point. Guys that have great caddies, guys that have caddies they can trust, that if they've had them for a while, for years. One of the things we've talked about a little bit with Rory McIlroy is the fact that he's got his best friend in the bag. And while that all is, really good, and, Lee Westwood, with the lady, these are not professional caddies. Harry Diamond, may be a very fine guy, but he's not a professional caddy. We were seeing it over and over again. Guys that go with more of the friendly face, Jason Day, things like that. Gets away from Colin Swafford. It doesn't usually lead to success. So I also make sure and I take note of guys that how long they've been with their caddy, how many times they've played this course together. I think it's a really, really important thing. So that's another thing, I wanted to say. And again, not necessarily just trying to read greens, trying to keep it on the green as, whether you have a 12, 13, 14 footer coming back, it's leaving in the right spot, knowing where to miss, if you can't really get the ball to the hole. And it's just there are certain guys that tend to be much better at this than others. You would expect a guy like, for example, Billy Horschel, playing really, really well right now, solid player, always been good, has not had a lot of success in this course. And I think one of the reasons why is because when he is not on and he is missing greens, he tends to not be able to get the ball up and down. He does not have a great short game. It's always been a big shortcoming of his, and it just is a glaring weakness at a course like this, and you're not going to be able to hit every green. So guys like that is kind of some of the things that I'm focusing on. But, besides that, Bobby talked about it a little bit. We're going to see definitely the most of the weather Saturday. Definitely rain and a little bit of wind picking up, which will be kind of fun to watch. 10 to 15 mile an hour winds along with some rain on Saturday. Saturday's going to be interesting. If the lightning stays away and they have to stay out on the course, that could be very, very difficult on Saturday. So while I do agree that I think scores are going to tend to be a little bit lower, the odds makers have move this number up a little bit more than I think we would have expected, that winning score type of prop number, because I think the expectation is Saturday is going to be pretty difficult for what will be a obviously shortened field because it'll be after the cut. So that'll be interesting. But I actually do side, surprisingly enough, although not surprising, with Bobby Digital here. I do think that they've got the number wrong on this. I do think that at least a couple of people, 2, 3, 4 guys, are going to be able to go pretty low. I know the number's about 13 and a half under for the winning score. I do think it's going to be lower than that. I think there's going to be a couple of guys that'll be able to do it. So that's my take on this. I've already pretty much crossed out about half the field in regards to trying to find a winner. So, that's really where we're at. Other than that, all the action to me is going to be on a lot of the props, finding some of the matchups and, doing what we do best. The course, this is one of those weeks, I think, where we can find something. The books know quite a bit too, but relying on our knowledge and our thought and seeing all these holes over and over again and, understanding these players, I think, is where we can get our biggest advantage this week.
Yeah. And like you talked about it here, that was kind of the thing I wanted to talk to Bobby about with Lee Westwood and the caddy and almost throwing the caddy out the window. Not obviously literally, but, it's just, how many times does one of these players, Tony, need to play the course for you to really not worry about caddy?
I guess it would vary between the players, depending on who it is. But for a general type of player, for a non-elite player, guys like John Rahm and such are elite players. So I'm not too worried about that. But for the non-elite guy, Will Zalatoris, great example, very, very fine player, but his first time out there, he hasn't been to the course. I follow him on Twitter as well. His first time out, there was on Saturday or Friday or whenever he got there. A dozen at least, Aaron, before I can at least feel generally comfortable with anyone even knowing where to miss on certain holes when the wind changes direction where you can hit the ball. 10, 20 plus rounds until I have any sort of semblance of comfortability for a guy like that. Again, no knock on Will Zalatoris. He's a very fine golfer, but he's not one of the elite caliber guys. So to me, it's a straight fade until we get a couple of years under his belt for sure.
Because, I mean, you look at a guy like Lee Westwood, and actually I've just been reading his son is actually going to be on his bag, not his wife or girlfriend.
Oh.
And you have a guy like Lee Westwood. I mean, he's played close to 20 Masters, I think. Actually, not quite that many. 19, actually. And he's got 2 seconds, a third, 3 top fives, 6 top 10s, and 10 top 25s. I mean, having the girlfriend on the bag might not be as detrimental to a guy like Lee Westwood because, I mean, the guy's played it, and he's played it well, successfully. Now, is that a testament to when there were caddies on his bag, legitimate caddies? I don't know. Maybe. But, you're right. Will Zalatoris probably doesn't want his girlfriend or his brother, or his, I don't think he has a son, but doesn't want his girlfriend or brother on the bag in his first, Masters, with all due respect. So that's why I was wondering about that in a spot like that. So I'm just, the familiarity of the course, because it's the only major that doesn't change.
And I tell you what, it's not so much even familiarity, like you said with Zalatoris. It's being there. It's being there on 12 and seeing the flag down there and the wind is whipping, and when you're up on the tee and it's blowing the other way in your face, you got to look at the guy next to you and you go, what the fuck is going on? Where am I supposed to hit this thing? And you look over at your caddy and you go, hey, man, what am I supposed to do here? Well, yeah, Applebee's is good for dinner. No, that's not going to work. You want somebody who is smart and can say, hey, look, I know it looks like the wind's blowing a certain way, but it's not. You're going to have to trust me. Just hit the goddamn 8-iron over there, and let's make a 3 and get the hell out of here. It's that simple when it comes down to the importance of caddies and familiarity. And it's Augusta. Augusta is terrifying.
Yeah, and what's that hole? I think it's 7, where you hit it the tee shot downhill, but then you've got to hit one up with the bunkers cradling. Is that 7?
I believe so.
Yeah, I think it's 7, where you got to hit a blind into the green blind with bunkers surrounding it. I mean, it's just like, yeah, I mean, no offense, but your fiance is not finding the right club for you in that spot. So, all right, we're going to take a quick commercial break here. Let the sponsors pay some bills, and on the other side, we will be back with picks, previewing featured groups, and Token. Unfortunately, we don't have a push-up bet to pay out this week. We'll get back into that on the other side of the commercial, and we'll finish with the Masters draft here. We might need to change that. That kind of sounds racist. Nevertheless, we'll be on the other side.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money, and we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sportsbook, click on your bet, and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.
All right, and we're back from break here. Vegas Squares Podcast, Golf Betting Edition, Masters Preview Show. We've got the full house here, myself, the Tonys, and special guest Bobby Digital, back after a brief hiatus. Bobby, what's your favorite hole at Augusta?
Ooh.
Hold it.
I feel like he's got a picture of it.
I've got one too. If it's
Is
the
that
same
12?
one,
Is that Golden Bell?
probably is.
I believe it's 12.
Yeah,
Yes.
Golden Bell.
Azalea.
That's I got a picture too. It's not. Ooh, that one looks actually nicer than mine.
Oil painting, baby.
Yeah, it's a real painting. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I love Azalea. Azalea is awesome. What a great question.
He's
Well,
gone.
I think that, yeah, he's gone. Or was that Azalea or was that Golden Bell? Was that the par 5?
No, it's Golden Bell.
It was a par 3.
That was
the
a par
Bell.
3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Azalea's a good one, too. That's a big risk-reward one as well. You know,
Yeah.
I think we talked about this in November, and I was shocked, Token, that you didn't pick Pink Dogwood.
Yeah.
I figured that would be your favorite for obvious reasons.
Nah. I'm a big fan of hole 12 and 13. I mean, Golden Bell and Azalea. I mean, it's those two iconic holes back to back. You can lose a lot on 12 and kind of get a little back on a hole 13 Azalea. So and like you guys said, it's that big risk reward factor. And if you miss to the right, you still even have a chance. I mean, Phil's little cup of tea.
I know. I always just think you're going to pick Dogwood because of the Louis Albatross. But you're right.
Oh,
I mean, it's crazy. And I know I'm not the only one on this panel that thinks this. But, we're obviously not professional golfers. I would say Tony – I've seen everybody play here. I'd say Tony's the best out of all of us. But when you step up and you look just at least on TV or on a picture and you look at 12, you look at Golden Bell, and you're like, how do these guys fuck this up? I could do that. I mean, I know I can't. Don't get me wrong. But, like, you look at it, you're like, how is this so hard? But it's got to be a combination of the hole and then where you're at on Sunday. It's got to be more the mental factor on that hole, no?
Well, I mean, it's. I think it's difficult too, whether you're playing on Wednesday practice round or Sunday. It's
Just
a,
hit it over the middle of the bunker.
But how many guys go short? I'd rather go long. Just go long.
oh, long is no picnic. No, because you end up in the pine straw and you can have a very, very difficult shot trying to stop it on the green.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. I feel like so many guys go short, it just never works out. I mean, Jordan, Molinari, it's, even Tiger, was it last year, I think, did he card a 10 last year on that one?
Something like that, I think. Yeah. Yeah, sounds right. Yeah.
I was listening to a podcast, Bobby. I'll ask you this one. If you got one chance to play Augusta and you were playing against the score, each worst score of Tiger on all the holes, which they combined to be 104. If you took the worst score over his career on each of the holes, could you beat him? Play whatever tees you want.
I could beat him on one hole. I could do that. Just hit it over the middle of the bunker. No, I can't break 104 at Augusta. I don't care if I'm playing from the fringe.
That's a fair point, though.
None.
All right, let's talk about a couple of featured groups here before we get into the picks. My favorite group I think I'm going to want to watch is the Rory, John Rahm, Xander Schauffele group. And the reason is because, we see John Rahm. We've got that little bit of fiery. Xander Schauffele, I know that's Tony's boy. But I really want to watch and see because Rory McIlroy's just had a tough – God, how long? I mean, just pick a time frame here. It's been tough for him at this point. But all they're going to talk about is him trying to finish off the career Grand Slam here. And it's unfortunate that it comes at a time, like you said, the field's so good. But I just don't know if he'll get it done. I'm kind of rooting for him to actually just not be completely terrible like he was at the Players, a couple weeks ago. But that one is probably the most interesting one to me. Token, I got one here for you. We got Jordan Spieth, the Valero Texas Open champion, facing off with our Pebble Beach bet, Colin Morikawa.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, we have a bet here on the podcast, Bobby, that if Colin Morikawa wins all 4 of the majors, we're going to make enough money that we're going to go to Pebble Beach and play Pebble Beach on me. So I will include, since it's so much money, I will include Bobby Digital in that Pebble Beach.
Yep.
You got to pay Bobby's bar tab too.
If Morikawa wins all 4 majors, I will carry all 3 or 4 of the bags at the same time up the hills and whatnot.
Nice.
All right.
What
I
I'll
like
do.
that.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So
I like this.
Colin Morikawa, Jordan Spieth, and Cameron Smith. They're what do you like about that group, Token?
Yeah, I looked at that group. I thought it was kind of interesting, especially Spieth and Morikawa. Smith, I'm not a huge fan of, but I mean,
Been playing well lately.
he's a decent third guy to complement this group. I was actually looking at a different one, and that's the group right before them: Finau, Oisthuizen, and JT, and that's one of my notables.
I was going to give you that group, but when you disrespected Louis Oosthuizen in the last segment, you lost your privileges. So. But yeah, that's a strong group. That is a strong group, Bobby. Thomas, Oosthuizen, and Finau right there.
That's very good. I want to go back to Rory for a second. You know, there's always the hasn't done blank since he's had a kid, hasn't done blank since he's gotten married or everything the other day. So Rory can get all of that bad juju off. That goes on John Rahm this week. So I'm going to be honest with you. I really like Rory a lot this week. I think it's time where he got the monkey off his back and he just relaxes. Nice and easy. He's playing there plenty of times. I think Rory can get
Maybe so. I'm in the point where I'm not on Rory until he proves that he's worth being on at this point. So
then you're not going to have a number then. So that's the. I mean, then we can't bet him. Ever. I'm not saying you're wrong. You may not be wrong, Aaron. That's probably the right thing to do. I'm just saying.
15-1 this week. Is he really worth it? I mean, we'll find out, I guess. But
19 at Circa.
There you go. I mean, if you're gonna bet him, make the trip down to Circa at that point. And then the final feature group, we talked about him: Lee Westwood, Dustin Johnson, and I believe Tony, you can help me out with this. Tyler Strafacci, U.S. Amateur champ.
Yeah, he either won it or he got second. I can't remember. I assume he won it because they usually pair the winner with the previous Masters winner. I don't know much about him. I watched a little bit of the semifinals of the U.S. Amateur, which was at, I believe it was Bandon Dunes, which was pretty awesome because when the wind blows and the weather's bad, it's just a shit show, which I love. And I love links golf more than anything else maybe on earth. So yeah, I don't know. I don't put a whole lot into these I know they embrace the amateurs and they get a bunch of airtime and who will be the low amateur, of the tournament. I don't give a shit. I don't care. I mean, it's all nice and well, but I want leaders. I want quality players on the TV. We only get 56 minutes. I know it's a lot of TV. I'd rather have 60 minutes of golf and no commercials. But even so, at 56 minutes, I want to see the quality players. I don't want to see a kid that's going to be a freshman at Texas in 2 months. I don't care. I want players. I get very frustrated when they start showing amateurs, talking about the amateur leaderboard. It just pisses me off. So nothing against this kid. I'm sure he's a fine guy. But I cannot get behind a group that has an amateur in it when there are, 49 of the top 50 players in the world in this tournament.
All right, Token, round out the featured groups here. If you could only watch one group on Friday and Saturday, would it be the Charles Schwartzel, Siwoo Kim, Corey Connors group, or the Abraham Answer, Hideki Matsuyama, Harris English group?
Ooh, I already know that one, and that would be Schwartzel, Siwoo, and Corey Connors.
I love it.
Absolutely, without a doubt.
Fair enough. All right, so let's get into it. No more goofing around. It's time for bets.
God.
It is time for the futures. We got futures. We've got matchups. We've got props. We've got daily fantasy from Token, and we've got our Masters draft. 5 golfers for each of the guys on the panel. Most money won is we've got an undisclosed bet. I think we'll probably do about $50 here on this one. So if you get the winner too, it's an extra 5. So we're going to give you all of that in a jam-packed show here, starting with the futures. Bobby, since you're the guest of honor, anyone from the Dustin Johnson favorites up to the triple digits?
Yeah.
Who's in the
Well-
triple digits here? We got so anyone from Neiman to Johnson.
This isn't the draft now, right?
No, this is your futures.
Okay. Well, it's Rory for me this week. I think first of all, the 19-1 number available at Circa is too good for me. I mean, the guy is still one of the best golfers in the world, and like I said, that weird hasn't won since had a kid, hasn't won since being married stuff. I think it's gone this week. Johnny Rahm's at home with the 4 a.m. baby wake ups, and I think Rory's going to be the best player in the field this week. What's very important for Rory? Good first round. I mean, avoid the 76 to start and then fire off a bunch of 68s to finish third, but not really in contention third. You know what I mean? Big difference.
So he picks him for the futures and then says he's going to finish a strong, not in contention third. Love it. All right, Token. Who do you got this week? I'm sure Susan's on the docket here.
Oh, absolutely. I'll start out with him because that's no surprise, especially at 75-1. See some value on him. And then we're going towards the top. Not the clear-cut favorite, but up there we got John Rahm. Even just with that baby, it's just something about him this week screams he's going to be in contention and going to make a run and could and will win this.
Oh, wow. There you go.
And will. I mean,
Token's not usually one of the you don't usually pick a lot of your favorites, so that's a rare spot for you there. Okay.
Token,
nice.
Token, do you have any kids?
No.
Exactly.
I gotta say, there's no chance in hell John Rahm is doing 4 a.m. baby wake ups on Masters Week.
Yeah, that's not. I was gonna say that, Bobby. He's not doing any of that shit, man. Like this is, he's got so much money that's how you utilize that. I think. Yeah.
On RBC Heritage Week, sure, he's doing 4 a.m. baby.
That's a spot to fade him. Yeah, I agree.
All right, Tony, who do you got in the first tier here?
How dare you disparage the Heritage?
I do love the Heritage too, but yes, two guys. I have two guys in this group, although the second guy is theoretically I got him in as a 3-digit guy, but he's mostly a 2-digit guy, so we'll go with that. I will piggyback. Bobby, good to have you back, Bobby. Again, I will piggyback this. I did get McIlroy this morning at 19 over at Circa, walking across the street, getting my coffee, and just staring me in the face. I had written my notes. I thought this was the spot. Really like what we can and have seen from him in the past here at Augusta. He's 5 top 10s in his last 6 tournaments out here, and he had a lot of those top 10s when he was not exactly playing all that well. Sometimes coming into this tournament, usually he tends to play a little bit better as May and June come in. Really like that spot. So we're gonna take him there at 19-1, and then the second guy. We had him last week, too, when he just kind of faded in the second round. Not a great second round here, and another one of Token's dudes. But Abraham Answer, another Circa spot, 106 at Circa. So I know he's about 80 to 90 here at most other places. Going to go with Abraham. Really, really, really streaky guy. So not always the most comfortable to be around. Not a guy I'm going to want in matchups usually. Not a guy you're going to want, top 10, top stuff like that. But again, when everything clicks, he's top 10 in the world as a ball striker. I don't think there's any doubt about that. He's one of the top 10 players on earth hitting a golf ball. So if it's there, I want him. I want a shot. I know he's on Team No Putt. I realize that.
He's 100-1 on William Hill right now.
Oh, he's 100. Okay, so I apologize for speaking in advance. He is a triple-digit guy, but there we go.
113 at Circa right now.
Okay, now he's 113. So I got a bad number. I bet that this morning too. So you know what? Tony Johnson, not getting the best number. These things happen, but I had.
Hey, if it comes through, it's still good.
Still good. Had brief interest in Fleetwood at 75, but I'm going to pull the old Aaron move here. We're going to wait and see still with Tommy Fleetwood until we get something going. And I know that when he starts to play well, he's going to plummet down to 30 and 40 in some of these events, and so be it. But I haven't gotten exactly what we wanted out of Fleetwood. He usually plays well in the desert, and he had a couple of desert shots 2 months ago on the Euro Tour and didn't play well there. So I'm going to keep it off the gas with Fleetwood now. But it was intriguing at 75 because I think this course fits him beautifully.
Token, do you know the last guy to win the Masters shortly after having a baby?
Tworsel?
No.
No.
I like the guess, though. Good guess.
Does anybody else have a guess?
Did Danny Willett have a kid right before? No, that was after, I think.
Danny Willett. That's
Willett.
correct. Danny
Oh,
Willett.
okay.
But he needed a little bit of Jordan Spieth magic to get that done. So, all right, I got 3 guys here, and I'll work backwards to forwards as highest odds to lowest odds. I'm going to roll with Scotty Scheffler here. Something about this guy. I love watching him play. 50-1. I feel like I'm going to take a shot in here. He's either going to be right around, 5 to 10 on Sunday, or he's just going to be completely out of this thing. I'm hoping for the former rather than the latter. I'm going Florida State boy here, but not the one you would expect. Daniel Berger. I'm going Daniel Berger at 40-1 here in this spot. Guy's been playing well. He's taken a few weeks off to get healthy. So we're gonna jump on it. Hopefully no fatigue. And hopefully we can have a Florida State boy win a green jacket. And the last one, I know you guys are gonna pick on me for this one, but I would love to see this be the win that we've been talking about he needs. Tony Finau, 28-1 here.
Oh.
Don't like the number, though.
Oh.
I'm going Tony Finau. If this guy's going to get a win for me, it needs to be this Sunday at Augusta. You guys can – I said you guys were going to pick on me for this one.
He might have to break another ankle to have that happen.
You know what? That's fine. Whatever he needs to do. And I'm actually looking at a couple other guys. Obviously, I don't need to bet Morikawa. We've already got him in the bag here. But I might put a little action on him just in case he doesn't win all 4 majors, which seems likely. But in case he doesn't win all 4 majors, we may get something here. What do we think about Morikawa? And obviously, we know John Parr would be all over Victor Hovland if he was on this podcast.
Absolutely.
I think he would. I think you're right. Yes, I agree with you. Mm-hmm.
I looked at Victor
Hovland.
I think that's a terrible number for Victor Hovland. As bad as Finau's number is, I think Hovland's number is just as bad as well. So, all right, let's get into the long shots here. Let's find that Danny Willett for 2021 here. And, Bobby, I'll let you go first. 100-1 or greater. We lose Bobby.
It's not Kisner.
Well, until Bobby comes back, we'll go with Token here on your long shots.
Oh, I've got one that I've got, and then one tip the cap that probably will bet. So we're gonna go with Beasenhoot for 2.25-1 right now.
Beasenhoot.
Nice.
Yep. He's been playing pretty well on the European tour and all that lately. I mean, South Africans do pretty well in this course. So
true.
Well, why not have another one? And then the last one, tip the cap. I'm still leery if I'm going to bet is CT Pan for 400-1. So,
yeah,
yes, sir.
I looked at that one.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So I'm under the impression, based on the text chain for the week here, that Tony Johnson is getting a little bold here in someone's quest for a green jacket and in someone's quest for Tony Johnson's green money. So
yes, very likely someone's going to get some of Tony Johnson's money. There's no question about that.
I'm excited to hear this because Tony Johnson's not a big flyer guy in the majors.
No, I don't like to take just completely kind of one-off flyers, but I'm trying to make numbers for anyone that has any viability in a tournament. And it takes a long time. It actually takes some hours to do, but I have my own little formula, and I like to try to work with it. I'm just trying to get better and, better with the technology and such. So I'm going to spare all the details of that because we don't care about that. We're getting, we want picks here. So absolutely. But, my number came out. I can't really compute much more than over 2,000-1, but my number came in under 2,000-1 for this player. So I'm going to go ahead and start with it and leave with it because we've I know I've talked about it on the text chain with you guys for too long, but and you're going to be surprised. It's really a player I don't tend to like. But over at Circa, we got a couple of guys that are nearing 10,000-1 to win this tournament. I mean, there are guys like Straface, Ian Woosnam, Jose Maria Olazabal. They can't win. They just can't win. It's the way it is. It's unfortunate, but that's fine. This guy at 9,750-1, I think he can win. His coach had him on video last week, did an Instagram post. He was hitting the ball as long as he has basically ever hit it in his career, and he's 54 years old, I believe. One Vijay Singh was averaging about 320 off the tee in some practice sessions just a couple of weeks ago. And It's an interesting spot here. So
Is that dirty money to you? I know you hate VJ Singh.
it is. It is dirty money. So my plan is. I'll actually going to give you some figures. And I never really do this, and I know we're not about this on the podcast, but I'm going to give some figures because I think it's important. So I have bet $20 on it already. It's done. So the $20 will pay about $194K. If and when it does come in. And the plan is for that money, we're going to try to do some good with it. Yeah, obviously it'll be nice to, have extra money and, maybe not have to work as hard going forward. That's great. But I think there's some good things we can do, not just in the general sense, but in the golfing world. It's a game where I think needs to be, more available to people, not just golf, but sport, movement, being active in general. And I've got a plan. I've got a plan in general, whether it's bet wins or not, it doesn't really matter. But I think it'll be good. So I'm going to donate some money, donate some time, and we'll do that. So hopefully VJ can get it done. But that's the plan to win almost 200K this week. We're going to go with VJ Singh and light an Andrew Jackson on fire. So why not? But, for more realistic spots, I have 5 other guys. And I'll go relatively quickly. I know we're trying to cover a lot of bases here because there's props, there's everything going on. We got this draft. Gary Woodland, 232-1, actually played quite well down the stretch last weekend, got in the top 10. He's never played well here, which I think is part of the reason why his number is so big. Victor Perez, 328. Probably, Token, I know, definitely familiar with him, been doing really, really well on the European Tour. He's actually in the top 50 in the world. One of those guys just totally sleeping on, doesn't hit the ball that far. He's got a great caddy as well. JP Hayes, or whatever his last name is, that was Rory McIlroy's former caddy, is on Victor Perez's bag. He's a fantastic dude. Brent Wiesberger, 487-1, also at Circa. Again, just a guy that's too good to be true. Kind of like the Matt Wallace style from last week. That he should not have been 105 the way he was. Like Wiesberger shouldn't be 487. He's too good here. Sebastian Munoz at 375-1. Another guy that is just reels in top tens. And I think maybe arguably the best value of the week, Token. I am right there with you, my brother. CT Pan. If you do head over to Circa, he's almost 600-1 right now. 592. CT Pan, 7th place last year. Been playing really well. Doesn't hit the ball anywhere. But if it all gets going, CT is a great putter. And 592, we'll take him.
Yeah, 592-1 on anything in a golf tournament. I mean, anything is possible. So I love it. Now you got me having to root for VJ Singh, so you could actually do some good for the community.
Yeah, it's about time I did something. Yeah.
I mean, if there's any way to capitalize on your hatred for VJ Singh,
that would be it.
This would be the way to do it, I guess. So, fair enough. So, all right, I've got 3 guys. Tony, I'd love to hear what they are on Circa after I list them here on William Hill. First one, I'm going back to the well with the first one here, and that's Zach Johnson. Instead of 50-1, we've got him at 200-1. He has won a Masters before, so we're going to go with that. So what is he at Circa?
280 currently.
All right, 280-1. All right. I know you guys said we don't love him here. He's even said don't love me here. I'm taking Kisner money.
Oh no!
Taking Kisner money at 250. I'd already bet it before he even said he couldn't win. So, 250-1. What do we got here at Circa for Kevin?
348.
I love it. I might have you put me a bet in there.
Alrighty.
And the last guy I got also at 250-1 here is Matt Jones, recent winner.
Oh,
he's kind of an interesting spot here. I don't really expect him to really contend, but if we can get him in there on Sunday, we'll be happy with a ticket. I'm okay if he pulls a Dougie Gim on Sunday, but just to have some major money move on Sunday with one of these guys would be fantastic. So if he pulls a Dougie Gim, because Dougie Gim has burned me enough this year.
Yeah.
So
it's a shame. But you're onto something there. Matty Jones opened at 400 at Circa. He's down to 312 right now. So yeah, there has been some money on Matt Jones, and that makes some sense to me. He's a guy, again, another guy that's so streaky when he gets it going. He's tough. So I'm with you. Yep.
I'd love to see a final pairing of Kisner and Matt Jones. I'll just be chilling.
Oh, there you go. Nice.
May not be good for TV, but it'd be good for me. So.
All
right, we got Bobby back here. We got sound on Bobby.
Super drunk.
Sorry about that. My Commodore 64 fucking internet went out again. So just to recap, I loved Abraham Answer. I loved Tommy Fleetwood. I'm playing a bunch of dirty wind and mud ballers. That's why I have Bubba out this week. If Bubba has a speck of dirt on his ball and it's not clean, he's going to scream at it. So I'm off of Bubba this week, even though I know he loves the course and it's really built for him. But no Bubba this week because of the mud ball factor. But another guy I took who's in the way triple digits, and I don't really like it, but it fits his pedigree, is Justin Rose. I know he's a little bit banged up. I mean, he's not really loving the way he's swinging the club right now, but 130-1 for a major winner. I mean, gamble. I threw money at worse, for Christ's sake. I threw $100 on Doug Gim when he shot $1 billion the other day on which is all right, though. I like the story. So,
we've all been on Gim, Bobby. We've all lost money on Gim so far this year, I think, all of us. That sucks, but it is what it is.
Well, I mean, to be fair, Bobby, the last decade here, you've got, what has he got, 4 top 10s in the Masters, and no worse than 25th, Justin Rose. So, I mean.
But he's swinging a hatchet up there right now, man. I mean, he can't hit his ass with both hands. It's terrible.
But I think we talk about this, one way to get kind of it back. Yes, that was good. But it's to play a course you're familiar with and to play a course you're successful at. And, this one, I mean, like I said, he's missed 1 cut. And he got no worse than 25th? I mean, that's not bad. If you're going to get back, I mean, I understand it's night and day between Rory and Justin Rose as far as talent level, but it's you back Rory McIlroy. It's not the worst thing in the world backing Justin Rose for the same reasons.
Yep, I agree.
So, all right, time to move to the matchups. And Token, you're the king of this. I'm gonna say, before you tell us how many you have, Tony Johnson, I'm gonna set the line at over under 5.5 matchups / props for Token.
Oh, that's low. I'm taking the over. I'm betting the over. And you include props? Token will find props. He's got hole-in-one bullshit. He's got all kinds of stuff he can bet this week. I'm taking the over.
Bad number, Token?
It was actually a good number. I have 6, though.
Oh, that was a good number.
That was nice. Yeah. Nice line. Good line.
And no action on the hole-in-one prop this week, so.
That's a shocker.
Heck yes. What do you mean? What's the line?
Minus 180 for yes.
Yeah.
I think it's still an automatic win there.
Yeah. A little too much juice, in my opinion. If it was minus 120, minus 140, it might be something to bite at. But
I'll tell you what.
Soft greens in the weekend. Oh, yeah.
I'll give you a bet. If there's a hole-in-one, I'll do 2 push-ups. If there's not a hole-in-one, you got to do 10.
2 to 10?
That's fair.
When has there not been a hole-in-one at the Masters?
2 and 10. That's not the real line, though. Hold out, Token. Hold out for a line.
That's like minus 500.
I'm aware of what it is.
I'll do your 2 to my 4.
There you go, Token. That away.
No. Say no, Aaron.
I'm doing some crack research here real quick.
It's only 2.
2-1 at Masters.
7.
That's minus 200.
2 and 7.
2 and 7.
3.5.
2 and 4. 2 and 4.
Absolutely not. Don't take it.
I'm trying to find some research when the last time there wasn't a hole-in-one. Tony, while he's reading off matchups, do some. I
gotta hold out.
You want me to do matchups?
No, do some crack research on hole-in-ones.
Me?
Yeah, I can't find it. I can't find it anywhere.
Oh, yeah.
This is below Tony's research level, by the way. This is a cool day.
All right, forget it. I'll take 4 to 2, 5 to 2, 5 to 2.
Fine, I'll do that.
All right, 5 to 2. I'm pretty much guaranteed I'm going to be doing push-ups here. So
most likely, but it makes it a little interesting.
Yeah. So all right, let's see what you got. Matchups, props.
All right, matchups. First off, we got Woodland over Wolf at minus 130. Don't like that much juice, but however, Wolf is like Buzz's girlfriend, Wolf.
Talk about a guy who's fallen off. Yeah, Matthew Wolf.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I know he's got like back issues on top of it. He withdrew a few weeks ago.
21 years old, and he's got back issues already.
That's
yeah,
rough.
it's just not a good spot for him this week. And Woodland's actually been all right, so I like that
Got to
spot.
remember, that's the first time in his life he's had to carry around all that money. That's going to hurt your back.
Exactly. All right. Next off, we got Kevin Na over Sebastian Munoz at -115. Nah, very familiar with this course. Eats him alive though, but I like him this week against Munoz. Like the number as
Munoz,
well.
okay.
Yeah.
right.
Moving
Yeah,
on, we got two big dogs. We got Danny Willett over Matt Wallace at +130. I mean, previous Master winner Danny Willett. I mean, very familiar with the course. Can very well shoot low on this. Plus
Sorry to interrupt you,
all
but
day.
this just dawned on me. We should have invited Ricky to the podcast. He's not busy. Ricky Fowler?
Oh yeah.
We should have had him on the podcast. this week.
Snap.
What's his odds to win?
Oh.
Wow. Nice.
All right, continue.
Never heard of her though. And then last off, we got Colin Morikawa over Patrick Cantlay at +140. Really like that number. Good spot for Morikawa. Don't necessarily like him win, but like him in this spot at +140.
Yeah, another guy not getting a lot of love from the media and us this week is Patrick Cantlay, too.
Yeah. You want me to go ahead and do the props?
Yes.
All right, and then we got Danny Willett to make the cut -130, and John Robb top 10 +115.
Baby fever. There you go.
There it is.
All right, Bobby, what do you got on matchups here and props?
For me, matchups, getting me to do matchups is, like getting me to do 50 sit-ups. It's usually not going to happen. But I actually did 3 of them this week. I got Rory over Brooks. Rory, I think, was -120 or something like that at Circa. I forget what it was. I didn't write it down because I don't do matchups very often. But we're firing this week because I'm back with the boys. And then Jason Day over Cameron Smith. Day was actually a small favorite again. I think they were both 110 or something like that. And then Tommy Fleetwood over Bubba. That's my big one. I'm putting a ton of money on that one. I think Bubba's going to have a mud ball week, and he's going to be screaming at his caddy, who I love, by the way. I love Ted Scott. Great for Ted Scott. And I think Fleetwood's going to stomp Bubba's guts in this week. So those are my 3.
All right, Tony.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing. Bobby makes a return. We have the same future, and we have a same matchup too. There's like 40 different matchups you can have, maybe. And I'm not as big of a mud ball junkie as you are, Bobby, with this, but I think the difference in their games right now, even though Fleetwood has not played all that well, for him in the last 2 or 3 months, Bubba Watson has really faded here. And if we look at his record now recently, even at Augusta, in the last 7 years, he hasn't even had a top 25, since his last win, actually. So to me, I think the number is really, really strong. We do know when the weather does kind of get a little bit weird. Bubba tends not to react very well, whereas Fleetwood is the exact opposite. He actually plays very, very well in rain. In subpar weather and in wind, he is the best player in the European Tour over the last 4 years by score. So I'm going to go ahead and go with Fleetwood here over Bubba Watson. So I'm with you on that one for sure. I have 4 others so far, although there is still a lot of time. We are a little bit early on Tuesday, and this is the last thing I'm doing kind of for the week. But I'll go ahead and throw them out pretty quickly. I got Tyrrell Hatton in a couple of spots here. It's not like I love Tyrrell necessarily this week. I just think as a dog against both Cam Smith +110 and Webb Simpson +120, these are relative toss-ups. If not, I think certainly Tyrrell is the better player against Cam Smith. Now, this is a bad number for Cam Smith. Now, Cam's been playing well. I like the guy a lot. I was betting a lot on him when he was 150, 160, 170 to 1. Now he's won, once recently and had some top 10s. He should be nowhere near where he is. He's like 45 to 1 on the greatest field on earth. I mean, that's just nuts. So Tyrrell is an absolute player. So I'm going to go ahead and go with Tyrrell there. Webb Simpson does not impress me. His record on this course, not ideal. He's also had a little bit of a rough start to this season. Tiro's the guy I'm going to go with. He's an underrated guy. A lot of people don't like him because his demeanor and the way he's an absolute prick, on the course. I could care less. I like the fact that he's a prick. So I'm all in with Hatton there. And then I got a couple of Rory matchups so far. We got him against Johnny Rahm plus 145 at Will Hill. And against Jordan Spieth, this is the biggest one that I have this week, is McIlroy over Spieth. And I got McIlroy at plus 105. If there's any godforsaken reason why Rory McIlroy is a dog against Jordan Spieth on any course on earth, no. Answer should not be true. So we'll take him plus 105. We went for that one too. So
I don't know. Maybe you can look to Sunday. Only one of them's holding a trophy.
That's fair. And if Jordan wins, I'll tip my cap and I'll hand over my money, graciously as I can. But I think that's a good spot there for Rory against Spieth.
All right, so I got a total of 7 prop/matchups here. I'll start with the one matchup I do have. And it's funny that you mentioned it because I wrote this down before you came out guns blazing with the CT Pan pick for your futures bet. But I took CT Pan plus 155 over Tokens boy Siwoo. Yeah. It's more of a testament. I don't think Siwoo is really going to perform well here this week. So I'll take the huge plus money at maybe the fact that Siwoo can miss the cut and CT can just sneak in there in that spot. I have one missed cut, and I'm piggybacking this one a little bit off your theories there, is Matt Wallace. I think with everything he went through last week, and to be where he was, got a solo third, I think, or maybe tied for third. Miscut Matt Wallace plus 155. You'll sense a trend here. I'm taking a lot of plus money here. So the rest of these are top 20, top 10 props. I'm going Berger. Obviously, I think that might be the winner here. Berger top 20, yes, plus 120. Also, top 20 Morikawa, yes, plus 130. Top 20 Scheffler, yes, plus 145. Top 20 Zalatoris, yes, 2-1.
Wow.
Yeah, I hate that.
Who let this guy back on?
I love it.
I tell you what, I like those other two though. Those are good. Keep going.
Yeah. The first, I thought you were off to a great start, and then
you know what?
Really,
for as much as I just let you guys shit on me, I'm backing you guys. I'm taking top 10 Rory. Top 10 Rory McIlroy, yes, plus 180.
Excellent.
Good number too.
Good. Good. Yeah. Oh, I forgot to do props, Aaron. You want me to do props as well?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. I'll just burn through them because it's just basically a bunch of guys and the same thing. So we got DJ no top 10 plus 100. DJ, that's the biggest one out of all these, by the way. DJ no top 20 plus 220. Cantley no top 10 minus 200. Cantley no top 20 plus 125. Spieth no top 10 minus 170. Spieth no top 20 plus 140. McIlroy top 20, yes, minus 125. And those are my 7.
There it goes.
Oh, and Tyrrell Hatton makes the cut minus 280 as well. So I know that's kind of a little bit, whatever.
That's a little juicy.
Yeah, I know. Laying 2.8 to win 1, but it's Tyrrell. Tyrrell's not going to fire a big number here.
Maybe not.
My guy. Yeah, minus 280. It's enough. I'm fine. I'm happy with it.
All right, Token. Before we do our Masters draft here, you need to find me 6 golfers that are going to put together the $1 million lineup.
Oh, and we got it right here. We got the winner this week. We got the winner of the pick'em as well. We got John Rahm to lead it off for $11K. And then moving on, we got Victor Hovland for $8,700.
Oh, Vic.
Sergio.
Oh,
for 7.9K.
Oh,
basement dweller paying a premium for a basement dweller.
It comes to better value soon. And then we got Louis Oosthuizen for 7.5K. Jason Day for 7.5K. And then Abraham Answer for 7.4.
Oh, Answer.
That could be a lot worse. That wasn't bad.
How is Answer less than the other 3 guys you mentioned?
I was shocked. Yeah, I thought he'd be right around the 8,300 number.
he's a better golfer than Sergio Garcia right now. Like, it's not.
Oh yeah,
I
for sure.
don't think all that close. Yeah. Wow. Jeez. Okay.
Absolutely,
Nice.
Yeah. Left nothing on the table.
There you go.
Atta boy. Major week. Leave nothing on the table.
Mm-hmm.
All right. For those of you that listen to the Valero Texas Open podcast, Token and I had a push-up bet. Doug Gim versus Aaron Wise, and
It's a push.
And it was a push.
Yeah.
Terrible. So we do have push-up bets for a hole-in-one that I'm pretty sure I'm paying out next week. So it's time to move into the Masters draft, and we figured we'd do the drawing live because it would make it the most fair. All the names are mine here, so I'm going to definitely get the first pick here, I feel. All right, here we go.
Smart play.
Five names, money win, $50 bet. Here we go. First pick is Tony Johnson. Oh, we're all doomed now.
Oh,
Who cares? Tim Kid Schwartzel.
Oh, wrong Tony there, Bobby.
And I'm not on Schwartzel.
Oh, shit. My bad.
All right. Second pick is – oh, they stuck together. That's what you get for using Post-it notes. Second pick is me. So we got Tony Johnson first, me second. Token is third.
Fucking rigged.
And Bobby is fourth. So, Tony, you get 5 golfers. Pick one now. Take it away.
does it go in reverse order? Is it like a snake draft?
Yeah,
better be.
we're doing snake.
Okay. No, this is important because I know this guy won't be there. So, you know what? I'm gonna take the weird, stupid, conservative route because we already get paid if Rory wins the thing. So, even if it gets to Bobby can have him and he'll be happy. I'm gonna take Justin Thomas first overall.
Damn, that's who I was gonna take.
Good pick.
All right, fine. I'll bite the bullet. Just give me Dustin Johnson here.
I'm taking Rahm.
Okay. I'll take Rory McIlroy. Is there anybody else? And I'll take Jordan Spieth.
Wow.
He's gonna make the cut, man. He plays too good at this place.
Yeah, he does play well here. It's true.
Let's see. I'm gonna
He misses
take.
the cut. I'm writing fucking Twitter messages.
It's based off of money earning, so it'll be not as bad as mine and Aaron's usual method of madness. I'm going to take Morikawa.
That's
All
good.
right.
Mm,
I'm going Bryson Ball, baby. Give me DeChambeau.
yeah.
What a nit. Jesus.
Yeah. He was going to be there for you. Even if you didn't take him in that round. I was not going to take him even with the back-to-back.
That's fine. I think my other guy's going to be there, too.
I mean, I have no choice. I couldn't show my face back in Scripps Ranch again if I even ever wanted to without doing this. So I'm going to go and take Schauffele.
Good.
And oh Jesus Christ! Oh, what do I do? I don't really like anyone in this kind of middle-ish tier, unless I just go with that little sawed-off Brit that I've been espousing in the last 20 minutes. But he's such a fucking no.
I know, Daryl
Hatton. He's such a prick, which is why I like him. I really do like him. I don't know.
Who are you talking to? I love the guy.
Well, yeah, I mean,
I am trailhead.
Yeah, just like twice the size. That dude's like 5'6". He's just a little dude. All right. Sorry, I'm taking so long. Okay. A little conservative pick here. I'm going to go ahead and go with Daniel Berger.
Wow, I thought my guy would be there when he got back, and I was wrong. Motherfucker. All right, well, now you've thrown me for a loop here because I thought Berger would be there with this next pick. You're right. I should have gone Berger Bryson, I guess. But you know what? I've already stuck with him throughout all of your other giving me shit, so give me Mr. Broken Ankle himself, Tony Finau.
I knew you were going to go back to him. There you go.
Nice. I thought for sure you were going to take mine, Aaron. Love him or hate him, Patrick Reed.
I didn't even have him on my
Okay.
board here.
Which is a tremendous mistake because everybody hates the guy, but he always finds a way to be up there. I mean, I hate Patrick Reed, but that's a good pick. Is it my turn?
It is.
It
Terrell
is.
Hatton.
Oh! You took him, that little bastard.
What do you say?
He took Hatton.
Oh, Tyrrell
I
Hatton.
like it. Tyrrell. Oh, man.
All right, you got one more,
He's
Bobby.
just a little bastard.
Shit, I don't want any of them.
Yeah.
Abe Answer.
Okay.
Yeah. Jesus.
We're doubling up. If I win money this week, I'm winning all of it or none of it.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Would like to
I'm
have him.
taking. You already know who my next one is. It's going to be Oisthuizen.
Duh.
Louis.
Okay, Louis. All right. Let's get Louis off the board. Okay. It's Louis.
He would have been there until fucking next Tuesday.
Maybe.
I'm going to give a tip of the cap to Johnny PARR and take Victor Hovland this week.
Oh, yeah, he would not have been there if Johnny PARR was on this pod. He'd been
Yeah,
gone.
for sure. That might have been his second pick.
Oh, wow. Everyone's leaving the guy off that I don't like this week, too. Nobody's taking Cantley. I agree with all of this.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are good, man. You're good at this. There's so much dog shit now in this middle. I don't want any of this.
Yes, do it.
Take CT Pan, baby. Take VJ.
No. We need a guy that is, kind of definitely going to be sort of like top 30-ish.
Relevant.
This is weird. This is a strange pick, but I'm going to go ahead and go with Scotty Scheffler.
Damn, he took my guy on the way back.
A strange pick. There it is. It's too good, Aaron. You're right. He's too good. He's too good to pass up.
Did you make 2 picks?
No, just the one.
Just the one?
Oh,
Okay.
I just made one. I'm sorry. Okay, my bad. My fault. Fleetwood.
Yeah, that's good.
I'll take Fleetwood.
That's annoying as fuck.
Yeah.
Token, who did you take first?
I took Rom.
Rom, that's right. Okay.
All right, well, I think to round it out here, just because I don't, like you said, it's just a lot steaming pile of garbage left here. I'm going to take Paul Casey.
Mm-hmm.
I like Paul Casey a lot.
He's been playing so well this year, too.
Doesn't he seem like a guy to be just great to hang out with for an afternoon, too?
Yes. And the caddy, Johnny Long Socks, too. How awesome is that dude? That dude's a badass. I love that guy. Yep.
I'm taking Jason Day.
Jason Day.
Fuck, his team's starting to round out beside that stupid Louis pick.
Bobby is back. Yes.
God, that's a good team, though. That team is annoying good. Good job, Token. That sucked.
Dude, Bobby, Patrick Cantley is just sitting there for you.
He's sitting there. Look at this Cantley. He's like
it's like in the palm of your hand.
Is it my turn? Am I up?
Yep.
You're the last one. This is the last guy.
Come on, folks. It's not like you didn't know I was taking this guy last.
Tiger.
Kisner money. Kevin
Kisner money. There he is. Awesome.
I hope you're right.
Yeah. Aaron will get a nice payday.
Yeah. So, all right, to recap, Tony Johnson, your 5-man Masters team.
Justin Thomas, Xander Schauffele, Daniel Berger, Scotty Scheffler, and Tommy Fleetwood.
All right,
That's pretty good.
The number 2 pick, we've got Dustin Johnson, Bryson DeChambeau, Tony Finau, Victor Hovland, and Paul Casey. With the 3rd pick, Token,
I have John Rahm, Colin Morikawa, Patrick Reed, Louis Oosthuizen, and Jason Day.
And with the 4th pick, Bobby Digital.
First of all, how far does Aaron's team hit it? Jesus. Finau, DJ, and Bryson.
Yeah.
All together.
He's got the big hitter. That's the big hitting team. Yeah.
6-mile average drive there.
Yes.
I've got the little plinky plinkers. I've got Kevin Kisner. I got Abe Answer, Tyrrell Hatton, Jordan Spieth, and Rory McIlroy. No Bubba. I love no one took Bubba. That's fantastic.
No one took Bubba.
No,
You
nobody's
do have a
picking.
very short-hitting team for Augusta National, Bobby. I don't know. That's rolling the dice.
I do like the answer in the Spieth side on him. So
Guys are going to make the cut, man. I don't want guys who make 14s and hit it in the water and shit.
That's
Well,
true.
that could be
I do have
That's a good thing
I got a
Tiger's
couple
not playing.
14 possibilities.
that could
on
be
my team.
anybody though.
So, all right. Well, that's going to wrap up the Masters 2021 preview show here with the Vegas Squares podcast, golf betting, the golf betting guys. I mean, I know that at some point Bobby wants us to come up with a name, so maybe that'll stick.
Yeah, it's true. We still have not come up with anything. It's true. Oh, what is that? Who's that?
Butch Harmon signed my 8x10.
Oh, there he is.
You got some pretty
Butch.
nails. You got some pretty nails there, bro.
Remember, I'm dealing for a living again, so Daddy's got to go get the Manny every now and again.
I was gonna say, I'm like, those nails are shiny, man.
Nice. I like how you
Iron
think
Beat
about the
nail.
nails, though. Is that that's some classy work
Yeah.
over there, Bobby? I'm impressed.
Oh,
There you go.
Signed my book too.
Oh,
Nice.
my goodness.
Is that the clearance
Look at that.
tag on the top there?
Jesus.
Yeah, I bought it from Half Price Books. Come on, I'm not made of money.
Yeah.
I was thinking Kmart.
I'm just surprised it was still on there when you asked him to sign it.
I was thinking Kmart.
Hey, look, I bought it. Doesn't matter for 6 or 26. Here's your book. Write your fucking name on it.
All right, to wrap up the show, since we didn't get it this week, Token, gun to your head. The winner this week is
Louis Oosthuizen.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Louis. He's going with Louis.
I thought for sure we were getting John Rahm right there. So.
No,
It's
he's
a toss-up, but
going with Louis.
I'd rather see
Loves
Louis win.
I will tell you this: if none of my futures bets come through, I would happily love to see Louis Oosthuizen win the Masters. As much as we've been hyping him up for how many years? It's been since what, 2015?
Been about 10.
Maybe not 10, but yeah. but
But
probably
for me, it's been about 10.
better part of 7 or 8
That's
years.
every year.
You're right. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Oh.
So, all right, boys. Well, that's a jam-packed show. Hopefully, you guys listened and were entertained, and hopefully, we gave you some great bets to hopefully make you some money this week in the Masters. So, for the Tonys, both Johnson and Token and Bobby Digital, and for John PARR, who couldn't be with us this week, but I'm sure he wore the green jacket to work. 100% positive that he did that. I am Aaron. We appreciate you guys listening. We will catch you on the next one. Good luck on your bets. Enjoy the Masters, and we'll catch you next week.
Surprised you didn't